The Christmas season had arrived in full force at the corner cafe, with wreaths hanging in the arched windows and garlands draped across the wooden shelves. The warm glow of string lights reflected off the polished floors as customers came and went, their arms full of shopping bags and their conversations full of holiday plans. Matthew Blackwell pushed through the door, his 3-year-old daughter Emma's hand clasped firmly in his. At 38, he'd built a pharmaceutical empire that employed thousands, but today he just felt tired. It was December 20th, his first Christmas season since his wife's death in a car accident 8 months ago. Every holiday decoration felt like a reminder of what Emma had lost. The cafe was packed. Matthew scanned the room, looking for an empty table where he could sit with Emma for a quick hot chocolate before they continued their errands. But every seat seemed taken. "Daddy, I'm tired," Emma whimpered, clutching her teddy bear closer. Her red curls fell around her face, and her pink jacket was still dusted with snow from outside. "I know, sweetheart. Just let me find us a spot." "Excuse me?" Matthew turned toward the voice. A young woman sat alone at a table for two near the window. She was in a wheelchair, wearing an elegant cream-colored dress that somehow made the clinical look of the chair fade into the background. Her blonde hair fell in soft waves around her shoulders, and her smile was warm despite the loneliness Matthew could see in her eyes. "I saved this seat for you," she said, gesturing to the empty chair across from her. "Well, I didn't know it would be you specifically, but I've been watching people search for tables all morning. It seemed silly for me to take up a whole table when I could share." Matthew hesitated. He wasn't used to accepting help from strangers, and something about the sadness beneath her smile made him wonder if she needed the solitude more than she was letting on. "Are you sure? We don't want to intrude, please," she said. And now Matthew heard the slight tremor in her voice. "I could use the company. The holidays are hard when you're alone." Emma tugged on Matthew's sleeve. "Daddy, she has a nice smile. Can we sit with her?" The woman's smile widened, reaching her eyes this time. "Your daughter is very perceptive. I'm Sophia, by the way. Sophia Hartley. Matthew Blackwell. And this is Emma." They settled into the chairs, Emma immediately fascinated by Sophia's wheelchair. "Why do you have wheels?" Emma asked with the blunt curiosity only a child could get away with. "Emma, that's not polite," Matthew said quickly, but Sophia laughed, a genuine sound that seemed to surprise even her. "It's okay. I'd rather honesty than people pretending not to notice. I was in an accident 2 years ago. My legs don't work the way they used to, so the wheels help me get around." "Oh," Emma said, processing this. "That must be hard. Does it hurt?" "Sometimes, but mostly it's just lonely. People see the chair before they see me. They either stare or look away too quickly. Both feel pretty isolating." Matthew felt something shift in his chest. He understood loneliness. Even surrounded by employees and business partners, he'd felt alone every day since his wife died. "I understand that," he said quietly. Being lonely in a crowded room. Sophia met his eyes, and something passed between them. Recognition, understanding. They ordered hot chocolate for Emma and coffee for the adults. As they waited, Emma kept up a steady stream of chatter, telling Sophia about her teddy bear, her favorite cartoons, and how her mommy was in heaven, but sometimes she forgot and still looked for her. "My daddy gets sad sometimes," Emma said with the brutal honesty of a child. "He cries at night when he thinks I'm sleeping. I wish I could make him not sad." Matthew felt his face flush. "Emma, sweetheart, maybe we shouldn't talk about private things." "But it's true," Emma insisted. "And Sophia looks sad too. Maybe you can be sad together and then not be sad anymore." Sophia's eyes filled with tears. "You know what, Emma? That's the wisest thing anyone said to me in a long time." "Why are you sad?" Emma asked directly. Sophia glanced at Matthew, who nodded slightly, letting her know it was okay not to answer. But she did anyway. I was engaged to be married. But after my accident, my fiancé decided he couldn't handle being with someone in a wheelchair. He left 6 months after I got out of the hospital. So now I spend a lot of time alone, especially during the holidays. Today, I came here because I couldn't stand being in my apartment by myself anymore. But sitting alone in a crowded cafe isn't much better. That's terrible, Matthew said, anger flashing through him. You deserved better than that, B. But it taught me something important. It showed me who he really was before I married him. That's a blessing in disguise, even if it doesn't feel like one. Emma climbed down from her chair and walked over to Sophia, holding out her teddy bear. You can hold Mr. Buttons. He makes me feel better when I'm sad. Sophia took the worn teddy bear with shaking hands. Thank you, Emma. That's very kind. You should come to our house for Christmas, Emma announced. We have a tree and everything. Daddy says we have to make new traditions since Mommy isn't here. You could be part of our new tradition, Emma. I'm sure Sophia has her own plans, Matthew started. But Sophia interrupted. Actually, I don't. My parents are traveling, and my friends all have their own families. I was planning to spend Christmas alone. She looked at Matthew. But I wouldn't want to intrude on your family time. Matthew looked at this woman who'd invited them to share her table when she could have kept it to herself, who'd answered his daughter's questions with patience and honesty, who understood loneliness in a way most people never would. You wouldn't be intruding. Emma's right. We need new traditions. Maybe a new friend is exactly what we need. Over the next hour, they talked. Really talked. Sophia told them about her life before the accident, how she'd been a dancer, how she'd had to completely reimagine her future. Matthew shared about his wife, about raising Emma alone, about the crushing weight of trying to be both parents. People think money solves everything, Matthew said. I can give Emma every material thing she needs, but I can't give her what she really needs, which is her mother. I can't fix that. No, Sophia agreed. But you're here. You're showing up every day. That counts for more than you think. Emma knows she's loved. That's everything. When it was time to leave, Matthew found himself not wanting the conversation to end. He pulled out his business card, then paused. Would you like to have dinner sometime? Not as a business thing, just as people who understand what it's like to rebuild a life after it falls apart. Sophia took the card, her fingers brushing his. I'd really like that. Emma hugged Sophia goodbye, and Sophia hugged her back fiercely, like she was holding onto something precious. Over the following weeks, Matthew and Sophia saw each other regularly. He learned that her wheelchair didn't define her any more than his grief defined him. She was funny and sharp and saw the world with a clarity that came from having everything stripped away, split too, and finding out what really mattered. Emma adored her, and Sophia was patient with the little girl in ways that made Matthew's heart ache. She didn't try to replace Emma's mother. She just loved her for who she was. On Christmas Eve, Sophia came to their house. Matthew had been nervous about how to make the evening special, but Emma and Sophia made it easy. They decorated cookies, sang carols off-key, and watched Christmas movies cuddled together on the couch. After Emma fell asleep, Matthew and Sophia sat by the tree, watching the lights twinkle. Thank you, Matthew said quietly, for saving that seat for us, for taking a chance on two strangers. Thank you for sitting down, Sophia replied. I was so lonely that day, so tired of being invisible. Then Emma said, I had a nice smile, and something in me remembered that I'm still here. I'm still worth seeing. You're more than worth seeing. You're remarkable. Sophia turned to him, and Matthew saw tears on her cheeks. I never thought I'd feel this way again. After David left, I convinced myself that no one would want me like this, that I was too broken. You're not broken. You're strong and brave, and you make my daughter laugh. You make me remember what it feels like to look forward to tomorrow. That's not broken. That's extraordinary. He leaned in slowly, giving her time to pull away if she wanted. But she didn't. Their kiss was gentle, tentative, like two people who'd forgotten they were allowed to be happy. A year later, they were married in a small ceremony at the same cafe where they'd met. Emma was the flower girl, and in her speech at the reception, she told everyone how she'd known from the first moment that Sophia was supposed to be part of their family. "She saved a seat for us," Emma said, "and Daddy and me, we saved a place in our hearts for her." Sophia stirred from a wheelchair with the help of the braces and physical therapy that Matthew's resources had helped her access. She wouldn't always use the wheelchair, the doctors said, but even when she did, it didn't matter. Matthew loved her completely, exactly as she was, because sometimes the people who save us are the ones who need saving too. Sometimes sharing a table with a stranger leads to sharing a life. And sometimes the most beautiful love stories begin with the simple words, "I saved this seat for you." This story reminded you that everyone deserves to be seen, and that loneliness ends when we have the courage to reach out. Please like, share, and subscribe.